Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 11th Annual Corporate Equity and Inclusion Roundtable Conference. My name is Bill Flanagan, and it's my pleasure once again to be the master of ceremonies this morning's event. I think I've been doing it since its inception, which appears to be 11 years ago, so it's been a great opportunity to dig into some of the biggest challenges facing the region, which is really development of our leadership and our workforce to make sure we're positioned for success in the future. By the way, these days I work for WPXI. I do a show on Sunday mornings called Our Region's Business, and I stepped down at the end of last year as a full-time executive of the Allegheny Conference, but I'm still on the payroll part-time as a senior advisor, so helping out there in economic development as I can. And one of the advantages of working with the Allegheny Conference is you do get lots of great data all the time on kind of how we're doing as a region. Are you thinking a little more like that? Lean in a little better? Is that better? All right, very good. So I've been able to get some of the latest data on kind of where things stand as a region, and I think it's really relevant to what we're here to talk about today because it really represents our capacity to grow our economy and to really move southwestern Pennsylvania into the future. And the latest data that came out in the third quarter of the year is that our region's labor force, those are people who have jobs or who are available to work, has actually declined year over year by 1%. So we have fewer people available to do work. And you see that in the unemployment rate. The unemployment rate in the region is the lowest it has been, below 4% since the 1970s, since steel was king. And you might think that's great, but it's another sign that the unemployment rate is low because employers are being squeezed. They can't find the people they need to do the work. So jobs are really filling up, and this is in the context of right now in the region we have 81,000 open jobs that employers are trying to fill. So we've got a real mismatch of available talent ready to do the work and the work that needs to be done. And one of the big challenges for our region is to make those connections and find a way to plug people into the workforce, prepare them, and then hopefully elevate them as they move through their careers. And so this effort, the Corporate Equity and Inclusion Roundtable, really continues to be working on one of the primary issues that this region faces going into the future. And it's my pleasure every year to have the opportunity to help facilitate the program. And that part of my job description today is really about keeping this train running on time. So we're going to kick things off with a welcome from our host for today's event. Please welcome Bill Generett, Senior Vice President and Executive in Residence for Duquesne University.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Ken Gormley and the Duquesne family, welcome. Really excited about the conference today. Excited about it every year, but particularly excited about it today because DEI is under assault. Yes, it is. Right? So in the work that the Corporate Equity and Inclusion Roundtable has done to not only make sure that DEI is elevated and that organizations are given, practical guidance, again, is more important than ever. When I think about Duquesne University, Corporate Equity Inclusion Roundtable playbook is something that informed, our work. We still have a good amount of work to do, but we are a much different and better organization because of this work, right? I remember, I've been at Duquesne about 6 years, and I remember one of the first people that came in when I got here was Tim, right? And he got this playbook, and I worked hard to make sure that we utilized it. And again, our organization is much different. We have made some key hires, and we've instituted policies and procedures in large part because of CEIR. So thank you. But again, we have to dig deep. We're going to have to fight in ways that we didn't have to fight over the last few years. Want to thank Tim Stevens, the man behind this. Not going to read his bio. It's on page 15. We all know Tim, but Tim's passion, Tim's leadership, and Tim's guidance has helped so many of us. So without further ado, Tim Stevens.
Some of you who know me know I have a little sense of humor, so I always say stay seated. Thanks to all of you for joining members of the Black Political Empowerment Project, B-PEP, and our Corporate Equity Inclusion Roundtable Working Group at this, our 11th annual Corporate Equity Conference. As some of you know, CEIR was initiated by B-PEP, the Black Political Empowerment Project, as a response to the fact that in 2010, the Pittsburgh region had the unfortunate distinction of being 40th out of 40 regions in the entire nation with regard to the conditions of African Americans, Black working poor, and Black children. B-PEP found this reality unacceptable. So today, CEIR is addressing in some detail the playbook, which was created as a very thorough approach to helping any company, corporation, university, college, major nonprofit, or organization in analyzing the status of their implementation and use of the many actions and strategies listed in the playbook, and how to ongoingly accomplish meaningful, can we all say meaningful, results-oriented diversity, equity, and inclusion. It remains our hope that many organizations throughout the Pittsburgh region will move to seriously address the inequities that persist by increasing the employment, promotions, training, retaining of African Americans, and to make the term diversity, equity, and inclusion not a slogan, but a true reality. As we celebrate the historic February 28, 2023 press conference held at Acrisure Stadium, can we say that? Acrisure Stadium, where a mess happened, well, it didn't happen there the other day, but don't get me started with that, where the Penguins, Pirates, and Steelers announced their individual and collective commitment to accept and implement the many strategies contained in the CEIR workbook, or playbook as we call it now. We welcome each of you to continue the conversation on how the impact of the playbook might be expanded throughout the Pittsburgh region. We thank videographer Ken Brown and the Pittsburgh Pirates for producing the CEIR playbook video, which will be premiered today. It is our hope that the Allegheny Conference and Community Development will share this powerful video along with the full CEIR playbook with the many corporate members throughout the region. We're grateful to Duquesne University's President Ken Gormley, Senior Vice President for Civic Engagement and External Relations, Bill Generett, for hosting us, and for Duquesne University, again, being our facility underwriter for today's event. Megan Peterson, Duquesne's Executive Director of the Office of Conference and Event Services, has graciously extended her support again for the conference, as well as Michael Kozar back there, Director of Technical Services. Give him a hand, if you will. I want to personally thank members of the CEIR Working Group for their leadership in planning this conference, our B-PEP CAV Youth Peace Summit Coordinator standing in the back, and CEIR Executive Assistant Shayla Holmes for being the anchor for this year's program planning. And give her a hand back there. She's in the back standing. And for our CEIR website coordinator, Deb Stulegros, for providing Shayla with informational technical assistance, and for providing articles for our CEIR program booklet. They're in your program. Take a look at them later. Russell Bynum of Bynum's Communication, Marketing and Communications, along with his staff, has once again contributed his creative skills to our program booklet. We're thankful to all of our financial sponsors in helping to make this conference financially possible. Look into your book for that. We're especially thankful to our major sponsors for today's event, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're thankful to all of our presenters today. We think we have some very valuable and powerful information to share with you today on various topics, and an opportunity to launch a serious and ongoing conversation on why blacks leave Pittsburgh. You'll be a part of an important conversation laying the foundation for the Black Satisfaction and Retention Survey. Bethia Bethay will be leading that conversation. We hope we'll be sharing that throughout the Pittsburgh region. Also be having a very in-depth conversation led by Dr. Marla Devine Bradford on how the June 29th, 2023 U.S. Supreme Court decision affecting affirmative action efforts in colleges and universities might be used as a slippery slope. Can we all say slippery slope? To negatively impact diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives throughout this region and the nation, a notion we find unacceptable. We have been blessed today to have significant support and future support from all of B-PEP's initiatives from the Macaulay Foundation, the Opportunity Fund, as well as future significant support from the Pittsburgh Foundation. Now, we ask that you, each one of you in the room, and those coming in, take the time, help create meaningful diversity, equity, and inclusion within your organization. And you think about what role you will play in expediting the process throughout the Pittsburgh region. If you'd like to get involved with us, call 412-212-8775. That's 412-212-8775. It's in your program booklet, in my statement. Email us at CEI Roundtable, CEIRoundtable@gmail.com. Our website is www.ceirpittsburgh.org, CEIRpittsburgh.org. Again, thanks each and every one of you for being with us. Let's have a powerful day. Come on, Bill. Welcome him back to the stage. He's been with us every year, Bill Flanagan.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. Always gets the energy up, gets us all excited, ready to... Everybody stand up. All right, he says everybody's got to stand up. All right, you got to stand up. Stand up. Deep breath. All right, we're going to get the energy, right? All right, now you can sit back down and we'll move on with the program. Because next we're going to hear about the playbook itself. And everybody who picked up a packet this morning has your own copy. And it's fittingly that here in Pittsburgh we have a playbook rather than a guide or a workbook or something like that. And it's even more fitting, of course, that you got a NFL owner actually in the front of the book. So it's not an official playbook unless you got Art Rooney in the front of it. So it's really an exciting step forward, as Tim just said, to have the big sports team